you're young. Then if God said that, young man, I call upon you because you're chang. What more I ask myself is, uno all head of PNP. How fun head so good for assess critically 9 years of success? But magically, on the head did screw off. On the brain never exists. Sense never on the head. In the 18 years under PNP, when Jamaica did that make 5 steps backward and 4 forward. What more I ask you now? On the critical thinking will exist now. Where did they? More know because the assessment and how up and a sudden government must be held accountable and government. All right, fine. But me ask you a question. If I just a while ago, I realized since Andrew Hole, I may ask you a question in a phone language. So the head never good all along. So as Andrew is coming in office, everybody have good head. Right? When the JLP come in office, everybody with it head no good. Happen so they end up with good head. I just that more I find out if all of a sudden, when Patterson, the old wrecking ball, they wreck Jamaica, and make no name start to wooden spoon. Let me ask you a question. I will never feel like politics had nothing to do with it. You know, so if you ask you to, I never feel like politics did have nothing to do with how Jamaica did live destitute and desperate. You know, so I feel like say politics never had nothing to do with how Jamaica and Jamaica struggles did exist. Me feel like enough for on all head don't want to blame the failure. And me no feel like I always convenient if it benefits someone yourself. You know, so I really and truly have seen what enough people kind of improve their literacy. Really and truly if you can even assess government. Because really and truly, you know, even though some man who are come ready in my virgin, literally enough for actually don't have the slightest understanding as to how PNP they make for own life miserably, you know. The same PNP will turn around, make life hard in Jamaica, come back with social benefits, to compensate for them own hardship. And even when they compensate for them own hardship, listen to these 2 examples, creating these struggles. So PNP created poverty, fine. Because them a government, them did have to do something about the poverty. So what should them do? Them come up on them and them go over the part program, say them are going to assist people in a pauperized position. Right? And then feed them. How much day a week? Then used to feed them out of the 5 day a week. Mostly 2. I mean, no say Friday was one of the day. And you see, make the part program under PNP, the part program, if you know memory good, I the kind of one like a stereotype program thing, even though they did it for poor people. But due to how hardship did rampant in Jamaica, people did actually want the food, need the food. But the stereotypes surrounding the hardship make you look like you are the poorest. And even though your situation might make you the poorest and never want it to be known say you are the poorest, you kind of did never want to bowl the collective part food because of how a part food did used to look. It never used to look presentable. It looked like I say a slapdash food. Like his school them did underfunded and if a part program them never did give the people them the money. I'll bully beef and mackerel. Eh? You remember the bully beef and mackerel where PNP used to supply the school with the feed pitney with? Man, pitney should eat mackerel and bully beef for them yard. Me not say we don't name them because I name bully beef and I name mackerel. But under the PNP part program, want a guy, if I ever mark goal in, come tell me say nothing no go so. Come here, Mark Goldie, make a name out some school where the mackerel and the bully beef did that share. Because the things I know I get to with murder in Jamaica, you know. Me not wrong, Mr. Holness, I'm not supposed to get away with political murder anymore. Especially this white guy. We have a vendetta for this guy, particularly chief engineer, chief architect in the mass destruction of the Jamaican economy. Thinking that he had the best advice. Thinking he knew it all. But all this time, this guy advice were the worst for Jamaica, but the best for him and the top brass for the PNP. So yes, this guy advised the PNP, but only to benefit the PNP. It was never to benefit Jamaicans. Because I'm a virgin, even on a harshest storm era, when on da run hard, the money when on da give people if go hard, it just never did add up because the living conditions did worse than now, twice and thrice as harder than now. So every little penny when they give people in the time they get absorbed before they even get it. Now, the JLP have funded the harshest program more than the PNP. So it no matter if PNP want to say whatever, because it was first brainchild by the JLP. PNP hijack it and put input to it, which is good because they should improve Jamaican people's life. But the manner in which the PNP was able to do it, you call it mediocre. Yes, mediocre. It's like them a do it and not do it. You get me I say? Yes. It's like them a do it and not doing it. Because you know why, brother? You see, PNP can talk all them want, my brethren. But remember this man. Takes cash to care, boy. Can talk all you want, boy. Can speak all the good plans you want, boy. And you see, after you have the cash to care, guess what, guy? It also needs a proper execution. Yes, you want proper execution, so we have to break it down the factors. So one, it take cash for care. Cash, it take money for do it. We want the government to do. Yes, but guess what too? The government have to be strategic and meticulous in its plans, its strategies, policies, and programs. So why not found over ambitious? You better glad say the government itself as a body never fell for over ambitious desires. Because you see, because over ambitious and exorbitant or exaggerated desires, you know that make Jamaica worse than before. Because all of a sudden, to hear of the economic growth and stability, government must dash this so dash that so dash this so. Yes, but the quantity we don't want it dashing at the moment is suicidal. And if I know out there, bash the best comprehensive budget where Jamaica ever get since independence. I want to tell you something. If you think bad, you find one comprehensive PNP budget we can match this budget here where we have right now to improve the lives of Jamaicans. This is and will go down as the most epic, comprehensive budget benefiting. You see how extensive the Prime Minister went and be on it? Yes. When he was explaining and expatiating the policies, strategies, and programs of the JLP for now and the future. Yes, because it needed time. So are you guys be critiquing how extensive a budget presentation it was? Guy, you know what that mean? Because words, according to Ice Prop Backer man, wanna love listen? Context matters, guy. So guy, listen. You see, when somebody explains something to Nofa Uno still not understand. You know what make Nofa Uno understand after somebody explains something to Uno? Another word with the E upon it too. Name expatiation. Meaning, you went ahead and you gave an explanation for something and you elaborated further. Go in details upon where you just explain or outline. Guy, you need time to do that. I see in a country where people might show you then certificate and PhD and bachelor's in a qualification. Guy, you see when it comes to reality, you have our literacy named current affairs literacy. You know, amount of people out there with PhD and bachelors, we are dunks to current affairs reality, one whole heap. One whole heap of people out there will show you them big bad certificate in academics and academical performance. But you know, guarantee them fitting critically, logically, and sensibly in regards to current affairs. Because you expect people who have good literacy to be compromising and be most understanding of the fiscal strategies and policies of today. Guy, ain't gonna be no country or no leader or no government where you have things all perfect. Guy, even in the most rich country, the government structure hit not all perfect, even with all of the merits we have. You get me? So if you make it look like you must have a faultless government, what kind of world you're living in? Cut it. Cut the convenient bias. You call that convenient bias. Yes, convenient because you don't got bias to please you. You're not really biased logically. You don't got bias to please you and whatever agenda you have. Because logically, my brethren, in a country like Jamaica, you expect people to understand, say, look, Jamaica can be hit at any time with any natural disaster. When natural disasters hit any country, even the strongest countries with the best economy, it can destabilize them projections and trajectories. Yes, even when they did rich already. Remember, say, it's an active business space and depend upon to continue and reach projection. So if the active business space get interrupted by other factors. Guy, it means that the projections are going to go off. So, for example, if the government it projects say by December 2025, we're supposed to be at X% in growth, and we have a natural disaster or a pandemic or even epidemic, guy, you must expect those types of things to show off the projection, not the course, but you might miss the projection. So the course and the agenda can still remain, but however, the projection in terms of the time and so how long you have to take to reach a certain figure might have been delayed. So you now go have a procrastinated, projected figure or where I say now agenda. So I just saw the thing about really dunks to real life current affairs. On bash the minimum wage package and the government goes about no new taxes. That means you're not paying no new tax on your already expenses. So therefore, the government mitigate your expense, expand your spending power. What we just say, mitigate the expense. Expand your spending power. The government make sure it's all right. One, no new taxes, meaning businesses are going to pass on that to the consumers. Just like how businesses pass on inflation, imported inflation, the businesses will pass it on to the consumers. So now the businesses have no pressure on them because of the government. Them no need to raise the cost of goods and services at the moment. And even then, the government still goes about no new tax on small businesses and all kind of business. And the government still put on more money on your what you call it, minimum wage. After that, the government reduce the GCT on your consumption in terms of electricity. So you see that waka money where you used to pay on the light bill, guy, you go still be getting your same pay, guy. Matter of fact, you go get more pay. And you go be using the same amount of electricity, paying less amount of money, getting more pay. Think about that, boy. Girl, you be using the same amount of electricity like you've been using last month, but you go pay less for it. You go get more for your pay. You'll have the same job. Listen to these factors and how you call it a comprehensive package. Same work. You have the same work. You have the same work and you burn the same amount of electricity. However, since it's a new policy here, you go burn the same amount of current, but you go pay less for it. You go do the same work, but you go get more feet. Guy, you call it a plot together. You see intertwine. Intertwine are the word. So the package is intertwined. So we got an intertwined package. Things that complement each other, meaning domino effects. Things that complement each other. In a phone language, what drop off a head, drop on the shoulder. That's the type of budget we got. Complementary package. It's a complementary, comprehensive budget. Things are benefit things. So when one thing benefit this way, benefit the next thing. Comprehensive because it means, all right, the landlord charge X amount of money for the rent. For the business or for accommodation, you can ask him, say, big man, like how you get such a massive reduction on your JPS expense. Can you please reduce the money where you charge me for rent, sir, please? Yes. So therefore, you call that a comprehensive intertwined package. So when one thing benefit you, the next thing I benefit you because of the next thing, because of the next thing. You see, you have a term named domino effect. I don't understand even them terms. Yes, domino effects. It's just like how you shuffle domino around the board. Are the same thing me when I say domino effect. The effect goes right around the board. Right around the board. So it creates a domino effect. And because it creates a domino effect, you call that a comprehensive complementary package. Complementary means the things that complement each other. Meaning again, as I tell you, you go still consume the same amount of goods at a lesser cost, no more than you were paying. All right, at the same expense or probably lesser because probably some businesses now, because them production requires a lot of electricity. Now that for them production in terms of electricity expense I go down, well, probably they can reduce the cost for them finished goods or raw material where come out to be consumed by me and you. So the domino effect is we might be eased by some of these, what you call it now, productive sectors where we consume them finished goods and our products, our services. So it gives us a chance of collective bargaining. You know what is collective bargaining? Yes, your employer be paying less in expense. No new tax, Mr. Employer. Your expense is gone down. Can you please pass it over to me? Meaning, guy. So yes, you will be paid over the minimum wage or precisely that amount. Now that you have such a massive reduction in your employer expense, it allows for you to do what is called collective bargaining. Yeah, your workers and the union can say, okay, let us put this to the table at the bossy. So we hear the government outline, say, your GCT for electricity I go slash from 15% to 7%. Your expense I go automatically go down, sir. You go still be the same productive place. Can you then in return pass it on over to us, sir, by even giving us a $500 increase or a $1,000 increase too? Because no found I get underpaid by on the workplace. Yes, not illegally, but underpaid. Meaning, so the businesses or the business place, the entrepreneur, somebody who employ you might just be paying you the exact minimum wage, making him legally paying you the right amount of money if you no go to prison or make you sue him. But the thing is, reality, if him did to pay you according to how you labor and the amount of time you'll automatically get above the minimum wage. So now found actually I get exploited by on the businesses. Government cannot really take action for that. Yeah, because them already comply with the government regulation. The government regulation said don't pay them below 16,000. So therefore the man can still short pay you without even paying you below the minimum wage. The businesses can still exploit your labor even without paying you below the minimum wage. Meaning the amount of work you do, you can't get more money, man. You can't get more money. So do you do the amount of work hour, if you make you get the minimum wage, my God, man, the discretion could have dropped in from the boss and say, bossy, you can't prep it up, man, because your profit turn good. You understand me? I see a reduction in your expense. So therefore, you can pass it on to me as the employee. And you allow yourself to what it's called collective bargaining. You can bargain with your company or your employer and ask him for more money because for him expense gone down. So from him expense gone down, it must be passed over to you, the employee. You understand me? Because now that his expense gone down, in productivity level probably be at the same now, but him expense gone down, him to pass it on to uno because normally he make him underpay uno or just about pay uno about the minimum wage or thereabout. So therefore, seeing that him expense gone down, why not just lobby for that guy to just say, hey, give me $1,000 more, man. See your expense gone down, which in your expense normally make you pay me precisely the minimum wage. Because you say your operational cost, yes. Can't do stand. Sometimes I don't really understand it. I never read comment because I don't want to be thrown off. Why I say can't do stand? What incentive does the employer have to pass on to saving and to the employees? What incentive? Let me just outline the incentive, my brethren. Incentive. You can just say, all right, as a business, now that our operational cost expense has dipped, we can now pass it over to the employees by giving them a little increase too, because now we're still productive just the same. However, our operational cost that is responsible for our productivity has reduced. Therefore, we can compromisingly offer an increase slightly in terms of who we are paying. You understand me? Domino effect. New profit, yeah, then my brethren, that's why collective bargaining gone in now, because the business has a new profit. So collective bargaining allow you now to negotiate and lobby for increase in the money because the business profit go up. Them don't have to give you, but that's why you have what is called collective bargaining, my brethren. You and your fellow employees collectively come together and negotiate with the boss or the business and say, bossy, can you please pass on the reduction in your operational cost expense and to us, please? It's a negotiation, mandatory for them to do it, but just so you have it collective bargaining, so you negotiate. That's why it is called negotiation. You're trying to reason to reach to a conclusion or potential conclusion, my brethren. You don't know the term collective bargaining exists in workplaces, my brethren. So just don't be... All right, I mean, never say that because you probably ask somebody we're ignorant in terms of want to say that too. Yeah. My, that's a cruel boss, my brethren. Can't do those things. It's a cruel boss that do that. Because not true we see you get a reduction in your expense operational cost wise. And we lobby for your increase. You must fire me and go take somebody who willing to work for the money where me a lobby to get paid above. That is exploitation, my brethren, because it means that whilst you are trying to prevent yourself from being exploited, another man willing to subject himself to the exploitation just because he say want to work. Not necessarily say him not realize that he's being exploited or the work position is an exploitation position that you are trying to lobby for other people don't end up in her. And when the backfire that happen with the candidates and say that is unfair and you call that unethical business practice, my brethren. Yes, we're going textbook now. Textbook, in the textbook candidates and that is somewhat in a good faith. That is not in good faith and that is not ethical. Right. So therefore, that is cruel and that is a cruel suggestion. Yeah. Unethical isn't illegal. We know that. Bad business practice not illegal always. We know that, my brethren, but it still not change the fact that it is unethical, my brethren. And where business practices are unethical, workers can lobby for better paying and better work conditions and better general treatment, both in a pay, work condition and everything. Me have more faith in the system now, yeah, me have more faith in God than everything else, my brethren. You understand me? And God appoint people on earth to lead us and also lead us positively. When they fail to lead us positively, depend them. You understand? And for me, your fault. When we turn to them to lead us and them fail us, the onus is not on us to pay for them sins, or for them responsibility that. Then, all right, can't do son. Then forward, no, man. Forward, man. Forward, can't do son, man. Forward, man. We chat, man. Forward, can't do son, man. Forward, man. We chat, man.
Nice, man.
Man.
Yeah. So, where we even start? The PM, what is PM proving to be the best based on results? No, man, I'm not here to argue against Andrew at all. It's just a point. You're making that once, like for instance, the government say cut a tax or deregulate a company, and now them have more the money free up, right? I want to make sure we're on the same topic. And now that this extra money free up in the company, the employees feel like them can come and approach the boss and say, "Hey, boss, give you an extra $1,000 or $2,000 on the salary, you know, because they work so hard." Unless, in my opinion, unless those employees are unionized, more than likely that boss not going to give them nothing. And if him give them anything, it really not going to be.
Not always. We not cut it, but not always. Because you have some boss who naturally and genuinely have good faith. You understand me? So, because listen now, prior to this, a lot of people probably did a lobby and a negotiate for better wages, even though they never did get paid below the minimum wage. Enough did still probably a clamor and lobby for better pay. However, some businesses probably say in return, yes, we would love to, and then the but. So when they explain the but now, the but probably say, well, the cons to the but is low. You see, our operational cost expense is not allowing for the compromise. So whilst we would love to offer the compromise, our operational cost would be one factor why we could not afford or cannot afford to give the compromise. So if the same lobby continues now, and know that the operational cost would have been the justification or reason for why you couldn't get a little $1,000 increase or $5, know that you have the same lobby and the same expense to him that are about gone down. No, him probably can compromise. You feel me now?
But remember the
me always the problem, man, because I know the things that we legally binding for the things that we don't legally binding. So I know in time for use probably on all them things.
No, of course, man, of course. But the but we used earlier when him said, boy, the operation cost is the problem. What is to stop him from coming up with another but? Because remember, you know, a businessman does not go into a business and can pay him employees more. A businessman starts a business to make money for him and his family and his business.
All right, stick a pin as now. Stick a pin. Tell me one way a business can improve its productivity. Tell me one way. Or tell me two ways a business can increase its productivity in terms of its human resources productivity, meaning the human capital where they require to drive them productivity. Tell me one way them can improve the productivity, or two ways.
Sure. Okay, I'm ready. The restaurant industry, right? Suppose you're making burgers and you can one chef can make 10 burgers an hour, and then the owner now takes the savings that the government has given him from the tax break, and he buy a piece of equipment, and now that same employee can make 50 burgers an hour. Right? Now the
Alright, but me
company
tell you another way, you know, can to do something. And in real life, you see context matters. Can to do something.
Sure.
You see, motivation, intrinsical motivation are one. But when you go in our workspace, and the workspace full of tension, you know the tension we mean. We're speaking of the figurative term and says tension.
Sure.
Workers not agree with workers and
Yeah.
so on. It cannot
Yeah.
reduce your capacity, though you might still be productive. But where one could assist one, the animosity in the camp reduce not help the one day, which if you help the one day, if you need deal, that task there would have done faster. And that means more productivity to happen. So meaning you have to have an energized workspace, making sure that you as the boss, your workers them upon good terms, and you also allow for them for negotiations. You have to make them feel appreciated differently from the salary. People need motivation to work towards the salary, because you will see man walk out you will see a man walk out a good paying job, go take up a lesser one because he don't like how the boss or the workplace treat him.
I
You
love
get me
how you
now?
say that. Let me respond to that. Just as how that man can walk out, guess what? There are 10, 20, 30 university graduates behind him willing to work, right? Who never dare make nothing. Who will come and take that job and glad for the money. And that is where we differ here, right? Because this job is not being operated in an empty space where there are no people waiting on the flanks, waiting for a chance to take your job, you know. There's competition in the market because people want jobs. So as disgruntled as these employees are, right? They don't, unless they're unionized, they don't have no leverage against the boss. You can reason with the boss so till, but guess what? There are 10 resumes on that boss list for people who want your job right now. Right? So that's where we differ, right?
And this is how economy Japan now, and stability of economy Japan. I'm going to show you how this Japan now and plot up things.
All
So
right.
you see, under this trajectory, you see, under this no new tax, you're going to find businesses expand them businesses.
Yes.
Or you're going to see new businesses of the same nature come in. Competition, I going to mean say, businesses have to go watch what them I do now, because you have the same competition and your competitor might have what you call the competitive edge. What you got to do now is make sure that when your workers them lobby who are already productive and your results are shows that them productive, to keep them the productivity people there under your belt, you better negotiate with them good or face the threat of losing them to your competitor or competitors.
I like that point. So let me respond to that point now. The same way I keep lobbying for workers to unionize so them have little leverage, I believe there's already a union of business owners, and that union is called the PSOJ, right? These people meet with each other frequently. These people go to the same parties, their children go to the same high schools, right?
But the same union man go the same party with them and the same high school with them and the same college with them, to the same unionized people, the same union bodies where you talk. You know what I mean? Them go the same college to some time too.
I understand.
So even then, it still allows for things go and corrupt.
Meaning, but there are not as many unions and unionized people as there are bosses. And believe me, the bosses are collaborating 10 times faster than the unions, right? And my whole point is I cannot accuse anybody of price fixing, like in the sense of a supermarket, right? But there's a concept called price leadership, where these business owners want to make sure, say, the other business who is in the same industry don't raise them prices, don't raise them salary too much. There's examples of it all over the world, right? When you're in the same industry and it's 2-3 players, they make sure, say, them coordinate the price to make sure the salaries, the prices, to make sure nothing not jump too high and mess up everybody's food, right? So again, where we disagree is that I don't believe that the business owner have much incentive to give that money to the employer. That's really the basis of my argument right now.
Yeah, but you still can't rule out it because it still happens. So where your instance still occur, my instance still occur, because you even have bosses where we don't even lobby. Also, then we just naturally offer more because them profit them profit net expand. So they must say, all right, out of good faith, because we are using textbook now, textbook. Out of good faith, then can say, all right, from our projections, our profit are set to increase by X amount. And to be honest, to keep you guys more productive and motivated towards driving our productivity, we're going to offer you $1,000 more because we appreciate your productivity effort and make the business drive. Remember, if these people are productive and you might lose them to other competitors, you don't want to restart your productive industry with new workers because it's going to take a while. So I may say, you see, with these policies, my brother, I tell you, economy Japan very well because now you see more businesses are go born and more businesses born that are of similar nature to what exists already. You know, it kind of improve the business space and make people can clamor more for better wages, or businesses can face the threat of losing workers, skilled, trained, certified workers with experience, which is very important. You don't want to lose the experienced worker to your competitor with a starter.
In some industries, that is true. That is very true in some industries.
Because whilst the starter might possess more accolades and so forth, the guy's already vast experience undermines that man's recent accolades. So you see, a business don't want to compromise in that sense because experience teaches a lot. While the man they can company work and teach 20 new man, the new man have to go get assistance from 20 old man.
But you see, that's a very specific example, and like the majority of the industries right now in Jamaica, I don't see that kind of specialized knowledge. Like if you're talking about the two beverage companies and the one man that they were fighting over, yes. But when you're talking about call centers, when it's easy to train you and replace you, when you're talking about restaurants, when it's easy to train and replace you, when you're talking about people working in the tourist sector, right? You can just swap out employees any which way because there's a long line of people waiting to be hired. And when the employer knows,
Here how you can other people now.
unionize.
No, different from unionize. I broke it down for you know textbook style again. So we are going to the textbook again and we are going to use data to provide this because we now speak out of it. So we realize the cottage industry are one of the driving hub behind the growth and development of countries like Bangladesh, Pakistan, Vietnam, and all them things there. But when we look on the cottage industries over there, we make them a boom. You know what them a use? Clothing and textile.
Right.
And guess who may see cut the ranks up there in terms of being in the top numbers for countries where have good benefits from cottage industries. Even when we so low upon it, we still cut the ranks. Jamaica up there with it. Yes, for Jamaica up there in terms of countries where have good cottage industries are sitting where people are benefit from. For example, you can call the craft industry where the government even lift the wave upon them in terms of like no make sure them are paying a tax go off in the resort towns and them thing there. Them type of industry they call them the cottage industry because a man have him own get piece of wood and carve it out. So them type of industry the way the crochet industry again is another part of the cottage industry where you see people do the crochet items and things and do the crochet skirts and the crochet hat. And them are sell them have a buzz too. So when I say, you see, if businesses see more people start to tap into the cottage industries and them thing them are go worry. Because now you are go short a labor because the people them instead of it give you them labor, them start to use up them labor for themselves. You get the drift?
Okay. So you're saying a growing industry going to give people more options?
A growing industry will give them more option. What go allow for that the growing industry there? What the government just do? Reduction in tariff for imported goods, so for certain goods. So therefore, you allow the growth and expansion of the cottage industry because normally the industry there come out of people who have limited cash and resources, and therefore them the type of waiver there and them thing they benefit them the most because you can allow them to import their raw material where them are gonna need in the cottage industry. And then so you see two factors dropping like linkages where you have forward linkage and backward linkage, and you know, say forward linkage means you provide the raw material for your next industry where then take your raw material and turn in a finished product. That make it the backward linkage. So therefore the government create a space for linkages, no burden people. Because linkages can create a burden upon people. Why? So here you are Jamaica and you want carry out your productive things in your craft industry, but most of the raw material you want, except the wood and so forth, come from foreign, but it come from foreign where the supply chain get disrupted. So therefore, you go import it here at a higher cost, and then the government make sure say, all right, while you pay for it at a higher cost, to clear it in the country, we, the government, lessen your expense on that. So while we couldn't avoid if you pay for it at a high cost where you buy it, what we do for you is we lessen the tariff or with a charge on you bringing in these raw materials. So you see how the government domino effect really matriculate in the common man pocket just to them to understand, my brethren?
Not disagreeing with you there at all, really. It's just, again, it's just the original issue I had was I felt you were giving these business owners, you're showing a lot of faith in them willing to pay them employees what they're worth. And I just, I don't feel they have the incentive to do that. Even
They
though,
don't have it, but they still have, all right, they don't have the incentive, but they have the reach too. No, they have the reach too. So just like you, the individual, can take those son. For me and you, we can't see it as a profit because we're not a businessman, but we can see it as our disposable income. So whilst we get more money, you can still call it profit because you start seeing more power where you labor for. So your disposable income gone up. Well, the business profit gone up. So man, you can't use good faith. I mean, in an industry where you have 9 years of no new taxes, and the economic trajectory shows say, yo, fiscal space, better for new businesses. And remember the new data come out say, investor confidence go up. That means you might soon start face competition. Do you want to lose your experience worker to your latest or newest competition? No. So whilst you think they don't have the reach to do it, brother, economic conditions, we force them to do it automatically. I tell you now. Yeah. And it still makes sense. I never say you don't make no sense. You make damn good sense. I'm going to try to show you how they can just broad brush it and say, this is the stance we take. Not in a globalized space where the economic activity is not so predictable. Not in a space where you can't tell how productive the people them willing to get off themselves, for themselves. Because while you're there with your business, you can't bank on the people them because you can't only tell yourself that. What if the people them united, they decide say, yo, a cottage industries we are pre now and a push for the way out, you know. What you are going to do as a business, because without these people, you have to go resort to what you call automation. And even with automation, a substitute human. It can't do everything. So you still are going to need human. You get me?
well, okay, see, in that case, now there is an incentive for the employer to raise your salary because there's external competition from other industries. But if in the short term, like right now, before those industries are fully matured and people can eat a big food out of that, right? Right now, this short term was where we had the difference. I don't think within this short span of time, they would need to raise the salary, right? But I see what you mean. In the future, once these other industries pop up, they would have to raise the salary and everybody would get more money. Yes. Right? That's the only part we differ.
And that the type of trajectory this government have the country pan. So whilst we, the government, actually move itself from being the only person we can force or influence increase wages. So when the government do that now, I think it's you know how the government do that? By creating the fiscal space. So no longer the burden solely and wholly upon the government to majority increase the potential for your increase in your wage. Now the government create the fiscal space for businesses automatically are being forced because of competition and other developments in other sectors. So even sectors where you substitute what you do in a one different way, you have to fear them too. Not only the one that will do the same thing what you do. Because, for example, take it you're in an industry where artificial orange juice you do, but another man in an industry where the genuine orange juice in my juice and make it. You get me try reach there, so?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so I just saw the thing said. So then my trajectory are the safest trajectory for better off Jamaicans. Because we're going to create the fiscal space to new businesses. When new businesses are created, it means that more people are getting employed. So therefore, businesses will soon be short for labor under the trajectory because the more businesses come, the more man out there. So even if a man expanding business, him probably have to go start require work from another company, that are going to make him know have to go pay that man more because you're taking from the work to give him a work. Because the competition make you short of human capital, you know. Because other people are get occupied in other spaces. You understand me? And now you know strap for human capital. So when you do affect for human capital and now, you go start fetching out already existing work or workplace. So you see them a trajectory are the safest, with the exception of external shocks. Yeah, man, are the safest. So without another pandemic or hurricane, at them the type of trajectory Jamaica go pan or tan pan, and it will go better for me and you. Even as an entrepreneur, all if we not employed by somebody, even as an entrepreneur, the thing good for me and you to see me.
All right, man. Well, everything else you say, we agree. So, yeah, man. More love. We can jump out now, man. Good talk.
Yeah, I'm a G in a Cantidosan. You see, you ask some very opposing questions where logical. You don't ask partisan questions. You ask questions where a cogent thinker would have asked with the in neutral side of the fence, which is very practical, my boss. Yeah.
man. I hear you listening later.
Dig off, man. You know the thing, man. Mad move. I definitely know. Antidote. I mean, even though we started now since me break the conversation, you know. Yeah. I was going to start from again. To get back some momentum, to get some good shit. Me there can't do something, man. Me there people see me, I try wrap my mind around one new chain of thought and think, so me have to put my mind on me I can't do something talk and think, I have to make sure so I stay logical. So you have to put your mind exactly in that conversation bracket to make sure so you stay in context and in line with what you are reasoning with. So you mean so you have to put your head and brain over this so right now. I kind of off a little bit in terms of where to point next. Me have a whole things about pan, you know. I wish on them to take on next at the next thing, you know. Yeah, man. But I mean, I say still, yeah, man, we realize that the government of today has given Jamaica the best comprehensive budget package in the English-speaking Caribbean. Right now, none of the English-speaking Caribbean, name as them now have a budget so more comprehensive like this. I mean, we have a budget where you see it's domino effects, damn it. In the next 5 year time, Jamaica will be the place to be. I mean, especially without external shocks. Yeah, listen, man, you see this complementary budget. You call this a complementary budget. And you know, long Jamaica have the ability to give its people a complementary budget, meaning you create a policy and then that policy or strategy or program have merit in or yield merit in other areas. Yeah. So that you call it a real visionary government. Respect them, man. Give them the plaudits, you know what I mean? Yeah, because you see, when you have a man where plan your country's affair, weathering things like geopolitics and natural disaster where we're prone to, you have to consider that man as the better leader for your country. A man will also have a plan B in the event of worst case scenario, are your leader for now and the future. The PNP have a hogwash budget, a budget that was set to appeal to the pain points, hoping that when they made the budget or craft it around pain points, it will cause people to yield and fall for the PNP. But in a real life, the PNP's budget is not a practical budget, not in this fiscal globalized space. And we're doubling down on it. You understand? We're about the government that is about to transform Jamaica and so forth. And listen to me. Nobody has to never tell me say the trajectory or the policies of today destined to bear the desired results. However, based upon the trajectory we have, the projections look likely. Yes, likely projections. You know what I mean? So therefore, we double down with the support of these two people. Yes, these two people, Mama Faval and Dada Andrew. Yeah, man, these people are taking care of their children, which are Jamaicans, very well. Much to the liking of a lot of people, to the disliking of many, for their own convenient bias. But nonetheless, they are the first to benefit anyways, because they can't avoid themselves from being beneficiaries of these policies. They will become automatical beneficiaries of these policies, strategies, and programs. So whether or not them like the JLP, they will be benefit from these plans, strategies, and programs that were implemented by the JLP and that are planned on being implemented. And therefore, hands down, comrades, Whether you like it or not, you too will be benefiting. Matter of fact, no founder, in our area, we see the constituency, our place, you got free Wi-Fi. And every time we pass the space, boy, I pay people in the orange and band upon the labor right Wi-Fi where we put up for everybody. So you should say, when labor right do nothing for help the poor people, and the PNP them are the poorest in Jamaica. You know why the PNP them are the poorest? Well, the PNP love the poor because the PNP create the poor. So why not love what you create? I mean, you don't love your child? Well, the PNP is the father for poverty, and therefore love everybody where poverty get where poverty reign in them life because them themselves created the poverty. So therefore they have to love what they create. They would be disingenuous to don't claim paternity for them create. No, we can rightfully stay. So the DNA results have claimed back again. And when it comes to poverty and destruction and destitution in Jamaica, the PNP are the father for that. And we want to give them the paternity receipt to show that, look, PNP, you are the father and mother and parents generally of the poverty and hardship in Jamaica today, that Andrew Owners and the JLP trying to completely mitigate or completely eradicate. So therefore, PNP can be, let me say now, touted for having the gold medal for failure. Yes, we give PNP a gold medal for failure. People, we are give a gold medal for failure and PNP get it. Yeah, we have a gold medal give it to failure and failing people. And me tell you something, you see the one you call Mark Branson, because the goal wash off after the sickness, the goal in way he used to go with, since the budget read, yeah man, we demote him to Mark Branson. So Mark is no longer golden. Listen to me, people. Mark is no longer golden. Mark is now Branson. So as of today, we can call him Mark Branson because Andrew Holness licked the goal off of a in. Andrew Holness licked the goal off of the in. So therefore, Mark is no longer golden. Mark has been relegated from gold to Branson. So we can now officially call him Mark Branson. So, Mr. Mark Branson, the battle is over, sir, and we ask that you go pack your bags and go back to your white British people, them, who will stay upon them balcony and watch you attack us as slaves and so forth. So therefore, Mr. Golden is no more, and anytime you see a Golden, it have to be Bruce. If you see the other guy in the orange, him is not a Golden. Him is Branson. So that guy is Mark Branson. Jamaica only have one Golden in the politics, and that is Bruce Golden. The other guy where allegedly named Golden has been relegated to Branson position. So we can now officially state that Mark is Branson. So Mark has been relegated from gold and now is being promoted to the Branson position, and we can call him Mark Branson. And if he not turn up strong, we might take away brands off of him too. So watch it in the mark. Yard man.
Brother, walk on.
Oh God, man. Keep it burning, man. Burning.
Yeah, chance the fire, man.
An inferno against the PNP we are light. We light in an inferno against the PNP. We need a new opposition in Jamaica. We don't need the PNP to be opposition anymore. We need a new opposition. Since they won't change the old dinosaurs, enough of that now. We go change them. Because me too want an opposition. So if them don't want to change the old dinosaurs, keep them. But we go form a new alliance now. We go form a new opposition. I think we go resurrect the MDM and kill the PNP out of the show, you know. Yeah?
Yes, man, we are this man called PNP, them, man. Because PNP are wicked enough. I own the political party that in a rural, I mean, know say love poor people, you know.
Why not love what you create? I mean, you create your child. Why not love your child? PNP create the poverty. Why not love it? I mean, come on, PNP. Who hates you for loving your child? Nobody. Are you how you treat your child, PNP? Adapt by the way.
Never hear no other else country. I said they love poor people. No other else country. Even if they not treat them good, them not say, boy, we love the poor and we are for the poor. You know what that means? Forever you got turn poor, dead poor.
And the guy make it clear, say him want the country to run for not him and these poor people. Him want the country to run him and him Tapanari's friend. And I know the little windshield wiper. The little windshield wiper run back to with the big old PNP band on him man. I know he knows say man not Tapanari's in damn well I know say man not Tapanari's. So I don't know why the generalship. Because then damn know say they not cut the dash. And if Lawrence run cut the dash, should be a top of Norris. We're up in the ranks. Oh, they look a walk foot come red. If you think that him mark goal in attack.
I two things PNP use all the time against Jamaican people, bro. Them use them spread hate against the Labour Right Party. See? And them use this slang. Oh, we are for the poor and we love the poor. And we like a some blood clot idiot. I run them down.
We? You say we?
Jamaican we are talking. We don't talk about
How?
yeah, we are running them down. Oh, we are for the poor and we love the poor. Love what kind of poor? Who want poor?
You don't love me because you're not poor, but you love who poor. What a thing, them not poor, but them all tell you poor people, they say them love poor. And they fool. The guy right to say him love poor, him not poor. And not him you love. Come on, comrades, go on head there. I was school no go. Come on, they have one different dictionary where them use. The man who tell the PNP people, them say him love poor people, him not poor. Him not poor, but him all tell you say him love poor. If him lead love the poor, why him not poor? Why you not give away why you not give away him have Mark Golden rich like Ross? And he say love the poor. Then if you love the poor, you know give away what you have till you become a poor somebody to sir. Give away it, man, you know say you love the poor. Give away your have, man. And be like what you love. Come on, man, be like what you love, man. Give away all you have and be a poor man because you love the poor so bad. So you must want to be like them. So if you go and give away one bag of charity, God will give you one bag of charity till you run broke. And then you can say you love the poor.
But bro, I'll share a little story there. See? You see in 2017, they are town a World Cup at Jackson Lesso. Right next door to Mark Golden. Then the runner make a house, you and Blake. And we spent 3 years over there on that house. And Mark Golden never once. But answer to me, other people did their work in their constituency, bro. And the man not even roll along the window. If you just stretch out your hand so bad, man. A construction site a go on. And you stretch out your hand and wave to the people the way you look for. If you vote you in a power. Not even that bad, bro. I'm not telling you, 3 years we spend this up. I work on that the house there. I'm not going not even once come congratulate you and Blake, the runner, a legend for Jamaica. You know, come and say,
yeah, because Blake not on a record right now.
No, because
Blake not on a record right now. And Blake kind of watered a little bit on the political mileage. Now go come and big up Blake. Because Blake not on mileage right now. So Blake can't help him.
Mark Golden and Feast and Mark Golden love poor people.
Boy love poor people. Boy never hungry a day in a film life yet. Boy never hungry a day in a life yet. Come and tell me, boy, you love who hungry? You come and tell me, boy, you love who feel hungry? Guy, you never felt hungry for your man.
Hear me? I see next thing, PNP, and they love Mark Golden like that, bro. PNP, I just want a little, set a little crab in a barrel. Wait, here they say they all if a dog come in and orange, then vote for them. As for PNP, and PNP are crop. And even if they're in the biggest position and a weird jacket and tie, crop them by then read 50 a rum at Denton. Live in a rum bar, sleep in a rum bar. Yeah, man.
He must work his father them in a society today, yeah. Because PNP them be. Let me tell you why. You know why they most work his father them a PNP? Them work them money, gal out, club out, and drink out, and then send them baby mother. In fact, give them baby mother fear. Figure the part program sitting. Just to give them in luxury and ammunition for waste money. So you see they have all. Why make you think so much man? Why make you think so much man? They against Andrew Holness and more woman rate Andrew Holness. Because the man them vex because Andrew Holness have put them to work and them don't love to work. So vex because them don't love to work. I be a long sea man in the country, we don't love to work. So therefore, when them policies and strategies I be a fruition, boy must get up go work to see the true benefits and potential ahead. So see a boy now see the true potential that because boy now work. Forget to see the true potential of thing. Boy now must see a government. Government we are saying boy go work. And make boy is the boy go work. Because poverty depend on your birth certificate ticket, boy. Go work. You come and talk about government not love poor. Boy, you did ban with poor for your service ticket. You come and talk about how government not love no poor. Get up, go work and get rid of poverty. If everybody did slump on the poverty like you and wear like a badge of honor. You know what a man with a poor? Because half of who rich today, some of them did poor too. So if they need say who me poor at top right there, so you know what a man that Jamaica with a poor, make them go and look work. And that the government is about giving opportunity, not sympathy. So the people long seat man, them love PNP. Let me tell you why. Them love PNP because PNP give them sympathy for worklessness. Yes, PNP at the party will give them sympathy for worklessness. So boy in a good work, boy got girl out the money.